Okay, so in this short video, I'm just going to walk you through how to invest in Lending Club notes. I get a lot of questions about P2P investing. And for those that follow my blog, doorroller.net, you know that I'm investing $1,000 in Lending Club and $1,000 in Prosper. And investing that money in notes is really, really easy. So in this quick video, I'm going to walk through both Lending Club and Prosper. So obviously, we're looking at Lending Club here. You can see that my total account value is $1,000.42. The available cash is $440, as you see here, and that's because I've already got notes that I've invested in for quite a long time. And actually, you can see that very quickly here. You can see I have 25 notes that are outstanding, and the borrowers are current. And then I have 2 that are in the grace period, and meaning they've had trouble paying. They haven't defaulted, but Lending Club is working with them to try to work out a plan to pay off their debt. And in fact, you can click on these links. Lending Club makes it pretty easy, and you can look through all of your different notes that you own, which you'll see some of the ones that I own here, and you can see their different credit grades, and that results in different interest rates, and of course, there are different principal balances because I don't always invest the same amount of money in each note. You can see here my annualized return, not good at all. And actually, I can show you the reason very quickly. You come down here, you can see that I've had some charge-offs. These are actually somewhat old, I believe, but they're for somewhat larger amounts. The typical standard note that you can invest in, you can invest $25 a note and spread your money out over a lot of different borrowers, which I think is generally a good thing. I got a little aggressive and had more money with a couple of borrowers. Here you see 90 and 91, 88. These are older charge-offs. This is all the way back, to a year and a half ago or so. A couple of them a little more recent, but that has hurt my overall return. At one point, I was about 16%, and then a couple of notes go bad, and well, there you are. I'm at 2.81%. So I still haven't given up on Lending Club. I'm just changing the way I manage my investments, and that's what I want to show you here. It's very easy to do. So I've got $440 to invest. You come up here to the Invest tab, click Invest. What Lending Club has done is made it very easy for you to pick the risk level that you want, and they'll invest for you. And so a couple of things you do. Here's the amount. It's in $25 increments, so that's why I can't invest $440. I'm going to invest $425, and the max per note is going to be $25. You can change that, but I'm going to leave it at $25. And you can actually then go in and adjust the credit score that you want, to invest in notes of a certain credit score range here, and also the term of your note. And Lending Club will refresh that update. I'm going to just stick with basically all of the different options. Let me just update the results here. And so they give you a couple of easy ways to do it. So for option 1, this would be a somewhat more conservative approach. You'll see that they would put $300 in $25 increments into notes where borrowers have a credit grade of A, $75 in 3 notes with a credit rating of B, and 2 $25 investments in C notes. But the thing that you really want to notice is they show you this 9.55%. That's not going to be your return. And you can see why if you come over here. They show you the effective interest rate. It's actually a bit lower. But then they estimate how many loans will be charged off, will default. And based on the data they have, and they've collected over a number of years, they show it at 2.53%. And then estimated service charges, these are fees that go to Lending Club, 0.64%. So your actual return is a lot less than the 9.41%, just 6.37. Again, this is expected return. It's not a guarantee at all. But it really just shows you, the impact of credit risk with person-to-person lending. It's even with a fairly conservative portfolio of Lending Club notes, the charge-off rate is significant. You add the service fees that Lending Club charges you, and it really cuts down on your return. And really, probably the biggest shortcoming of person-to-person lending. I mean, the idea behind P2P lending was that you take out the middleman of the bank and all of the fees that they charge. And you put borrowers and lenders together, more directly. And Lending Club and Prosper have done that, but it's not quite as as great for lenders as you might think. There's still a pretty significant middleman, Lending Club and Prosper. They've just changed who it is. Still, I think you can have good investments here. I think it can be a good portion of a portfolio. I keep it very small. I mean, at the moment, as you see, just $1,000. That's more for just showing folks how it works. So in any event, you could pick that option. You could get a little more aggressive, and you can see as you pick the different options, they spread out your money over a little less in A notes and all the way down to D notes. And if you went to option 3, more of it gets pushed down. And there's even more options. If you click this, you can change just how aggressive you want to be, more aggressive, less aggressive. It shows you how they would invest your money. It gives you a projection of your return. I tend to stay conservative with my choices. I tend to go somewhere in the middle. I think this is a pretty good spread. Take a little bit of risk with a D and a couple of C notes, but most of it in the A and B notes. And that's what I'm going to go with here. So once you do that, you just click continue, and Lending Club processes this and gives you a rundown of the various notes. Now you can dive into each of these notes. As you can see, just take the first one. They're going to refinance some credit card debt, and it's a pretty common reason to borrow. More debt consolidation, major purchase. So there are different reasons, and this shows you the total amount the borrower wants to borrow. Now, obviously, I'm only going to contribute $25 to that. But in any event, you can look at all the detail you want. I tend not to bother. I mean, part of this is to simplify it. So I like what I've got, and so you just continue, and again, it shows you all the notes. Let me just move this screen up a little bit so you can see more of them. There are all the notes. They show you the interest rate. Of course, again, this is before charge-offs and service fees. But I won't actually, even in the best of cases, I won't receive 11.68%. But part of this whole project, and I'll be writing about it more on Dough Roller, is to kind of show you how this works, and we'll track the history of these notes, and we'll see just how they do. So once you've got that done, you can tell it's only taken a couple of minutes, you place the order. And it's done. Now I can create a portfolio. So that you can keep your notes separate if you want to track them separately. So I'll do that. I'm going to call this I'll just call it the DR portfolio, DR. And that way we can kind of just see how these notes do as compared to the other notes that I already own. So we'll assign all these notes to that. All notes from your order have been successfully assigned, and we're done. And that's how easy it is to invest in notes with Lending Club. Okay, so now we're going to take a quick look at Prosper, and as you can see in my account, I have exactly $1,000. Currently, no money invested in notes, unlike Lending Club. You can see my returns have been a little better. If you go all the way back to 2005, it's 3.5%, but more recently, 2009 to 2014, it's been just under 10%, which has been great. But of course, I don't have any notes currently, no money currently invested in notes with Prosper, and that's going to change here. So they have a similar feature with a quick invest, and what you can do is you can pick, first of all, what loans you want to invest in, and what ratings. The rating system is a little different than Lending Club. It basically works the same way. You can see the effective yield, estimated loss, which again would be like for charge-offs and defaults, and then an estimated return. And so I'm going to stick with AA, A, and B, and then you can see here find loans. And it very similar with Lending Club. It breaks it out: $400 in AA's, $250 in notes for creditor borrowers with a credit grade of A, and $50 in B, and that's a total of $700. So I'll have more to invest. Obviously, I've got another $300, but this kind of just gives you a sense as how it works and kind of how easy it is. Now, like Lending Club, I can go down here and look at the details of every single loan that's available if I want to. It shows you the term, effective yield, the estimated loss, estimated return, and so forth. And again, I can go, this tells me the reason for the loan. I can go into as much detail as I want. This shows me my effective yield, my estimated loss, 2.31%, and then my estimated return. Now again, we'll track all this, so we'll see just how accurate Prosper is at estimating returns as we kind of work through these notes over the next year or so, and as the loans start to age and see how they do. But to invest, simple as that. Please confirm your investment. Yes, place the order. and you're done. Now, what this deals with is automating your selection in terms of your quick investment setting. So $50 as an investment amount, using available cash. And I'll call this the criteria. I'll just, again, call it DR criteria. And that way we can keep track of that as well. And that's it.